On this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do commands using your sprites and your backgrounds. We're just going to do a simple thing like a dog moving and a parrot flying and some other little bits and bobs. What we're going to start with is, if you start with your background or your stage, if you just click on that and then go to your costumes. There we go. What we're going to do, we're just going to import a background. Loads of choices: indoors, outdoors, nature. If you do something like the party room, and then you want to delete the white background, we can play about with the background. If you copy it and then go to edit, and then you've got the paint editor come up. If you take something like this disco room, what we can do, we can change the colour of the lights so they just don't stay one colour. We can actually animate it just by simply, if we just choose the paintbrush, just change the size to roughly what colour the lights are, and then what you can do is just choose different colours, and if you just block out the previous colour that's there, it's a bit tedious but it's well worth the effect. Something like that. Just constantly just change some colours about. Choose some yellows. Say it's a bit fiddly, but I think it's well worth the end result. And same again, if we just change these lights here. Recognising which one's which. Do something like that. I think that's them all. Just double check. There we go. So if you just change your background like that and then just click OK. And then what you go, you click stay on your stage and go to your scripts, and then what we'll do is just write a quick script for it. If you go to your control and drag across when green flag's clicked, and then go to the looks, which will basically be the next background, and then what we'll have to do, we'll have to, obviously to make the lights flash, we have to change. If I just go back to backgrounds again, if you look at the lights, you'll see them changing. So there just has to be a time difference between them. So if we go something like 0.4, and then what we have to do is just click around a forever block. And as I said, what we've done there is just when the green flag's pressed, forever, change the background every 0.4 seconds. So if we just go across and enlarge it like that, and then press your green flag, you'll see the lights flash. It's just something simple, but it just animates it a little bit for you. And then we'll come out of that, So as I say, there's other things you could do. You could add on to your background, just make it a bit more interesting. What we'll do now, we'll go to your sprite. Couple of icons up here which will help you with your sprites. This one is simple, just a duplicate. Just give you multiple sprites. If you just grab that icon and then just click on the cat, it just makes a quick way of doing 4 of them. Next to it is a way of deleting your sprite. You just click on your scissors and then click on the sprite, get rid of it, or you can simply right click on it and delete it that way. And same, or you can also do it down here as well, delete it, which will just get rid of all your sprites. So there's a couple of ways with dealing with your sprites. You can either, on the first one, is just actually make your own, depending what you want to do or how good you are artistic. That's one way of doing it. But for this tutorial, we're just going to animate an animal, and we're going to choose the dog on this one. You've got 3 dogs here. You just choose dog 2B and then open that up. And the other icons up here, which will quickly show you, is to make it grow and just to shrink him down. So if you just grab the shrink, just keep clicking on it till you're happy with the right size, click away, and there's your dog there. So that's your first part, but obviously if we do it as there and create a script for him, you'll see what happens. So simply what we're going to do is when the green flag's clicked, we go to the motion, move 10 steps. You can change that to how much you want to, really. I'll just put it down to 5. What you'll need for the next step, because obviously if we pressed it now, it will just move 5 and then stop. What you want to do then is, because we don't want him to go off the edge, because once he walks, he'll get to the edge, he'll just continue to walk, so we're just going to get him to come back and forth. And what you'll need to do with that is put a forever move around it, so it'll just continue to do it. So if you just press the green flag, you'll see he goes across. Now when you see him turn upside down, the reason behind that is at the top here you'll see where it says can rotate, only face left right, and don't rotate. We just want the dog to face left or right. We don't want him to go upside down or to rotate around. So if you press your green flag again, when it comes back off the wall, it'll just face the opposite direction and continue to walk. But as you can see, there's no animation with it, he's just like gliding along. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go to costume, and then same again, if you import, this time I want you to choose dog C, dog 2C as it says on here, and then click OK. And then if you go back to your scripts here, what we want to do is to change costume. If I quickly go back again and click between them, you'll just see his legs are moving on the stage. So we just want him to continue to walk. So if you go to the next costume, and then between the 2 costumes you always have to put a time for it to change between one and the other. So we will then go to wait again, and we'll set this to 0.2 to start with. We'll see how that looks. So if you go across to your green flag and just click it, you'll see his legs are moving now. He'll turn around and come back. Yeah. So another thing we'll do, obviously most dogs will wag the tail as they're running across. What we can do is, if you go back to your costumes, so you've got your 2 dogs, if you go to the second one and then click on edit, you'll have the dog that will come back up in your window. So we can play about with the dog now and change its features. So if you go to this square, which is like an unblocked square, select tool as it's called, if you click on that and then just surround the tail like that, and then go to this top icon here where it says flip vertically and click that. You'll see his tail's moved around, and you just pick it up and just put him into a place where you think he'll fit like that, and then click OK, and then click back to your scripts. So now if you look at the dog, what will happen is he'll be moving his tail as he's walking along. So just a bit better animation. You can do other things. You could, you know, change his eyes, nose, you know, do basically anything you want. Just trial and error really. So we've basically got an animated background and we've just got a dog walking along. So what we're going to do, we're going to give the dog a friend, and what we can do is we're going to choose a parrot this time, something flying around. So if you go to your import another sprite and then go down, and then you come to a parrot. There it is. So you've got parrot A and parrot B. So if you go to parrot A and then click OK, and then same as the dog before, you come up to costumes, import, and this time choose parrot B. Should be, there he is. So it's same again. If you watch the parrot, it's just flapping his wings. What we want to do is just shrink the parrot down again, because it looks like it would swoop down and eat the dog by the look of it. That should do us. So put him flying around the room, as I say, just click between it. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do simple movements using the up, down, left and right arrow keys. And as everything starts, we'll just use that with these when key pressed. So if we start with the up arrow, which is there, and we want it to point in a certain direction. So if you go to motion, and we will point him to the right, like that, and then we want him to move. So if we just drag across the move 10 steps, and then what we want him to do is next costume, like that. So obviously if I press the up arrow key there, he'll be moving and he flaps his wings. Yeah. A simple way to, as I say, if you saw my last tutorial, we could just duplicate that, and then what we'll do now, we'll just change to the down arrow. So if we just change that to down, we'll keep him pointing in a certain direction, and we want him to move 10 steps, and we want him to change costume. So I want him to move down in a direction there. So if you click on the degrees, we want him to come down. And sorry, I didn't meant to change that one, it's actually up. So we've got up arrow, which is node, and 180, which would make him come downwards. We just want to continue this for the right and left, so we're just going to duplicate that, and we'll go left, and change him, we want to go minus, so to the left when it's facing that way, and that means the same again as the dog. As you can see, we've got a parrot flying upside down. What you want to do there, go back to the middle and just keep him facing in the same way. And once again, you just right click, duplicate, and this time we're going for the right arrow, and change the direction. Click on that to the right, and then we've got the parrot will move right, moves down, moves to the right, and moves up. And that's a lot we can do it at this moment in time. It's just simple, but it'll just get your kids, they can change it. They can change it to a bat or anything else that can fly. They don't have to have the dog. They can change it to a different animal. So you let them choose, but this is just the standard scripts. Another little thing we can do is we can, if we go back to the dog, we can actually add some sounds for the dog. So if we just click on the sounds and import, we've got a dog, sounds more like that type of dog. So what you can do then is go back to your scripts, and then what you just have to do then is just choose a key, something to press if you want to make the sound. So we just leave it as space bar, and when that space bar happens we just go to the sound, and it will just play the dog. So every time we click the space bar, the dog will bark. And what we can do then is if we go to back to the parrot, if we do the same with the parrot, the same space bar, like that, and we can simply say, drag that down like that, and if you click on the words what you want them to say and just say don't bark at me. So now if we go to the, click on this for your full screen and click on your green arrow, dog, parrot will fly, and the parrot says don't bark at me. That's just a quick tutorial just to get you into Scratch and just some small commands. As I say, you can make your life easier just by duplicating them. You can animate the background, doesn't matter what you choose, you can add on to it what you want, so it just means that by changing the costumes it'll just make it a bit more interesting. Things can fly around, and that's it. So as before, if you just want to file and click save as, if you choose your desktop, just give it a name, Dog and Parrot, and then obviously what you can do is open it up, do a print screen, transfer that to your Paint or to Paint, and then open it in that, and then you can print screen, and then you can print all these details out and either give it to the kids to do the task or get them to make their own tasks up. Thanks very much now. See you next time, and I will see you later.